2019 was a big year for the channel. We made a total of 150 videos. That is 2.8 videos per week for 52 weeks. The channel grew from 37,000 subscribers to about 61,000 subscribers as I am filming this video today. We reviewed 17 bikes on the channel this year, and probably the biggest and most significant number on the channel this year is that it was 100% supported by you guys. We took $0 in terms of ad or content placement on the channel this year. So big thanks to you guys for making this possible, for letting us keep an independent voice and focus on all the weird and goofy things we love about bicycling. So in this video, I just wanted to talk about my personal favorite videos that we produced on the channel this year. Hopefully you love them too. Probably one of my favorite videos of the year this year was, of course, our painter video. We finally solved how to pronounce this word that's so contentious that we get so many angry comments about. It was fun to finally lay it to rest with an expert. It's sort of strange that one of my favorite videos on a bicycling channel is actually about linguistics and etymology and history, but I think that really encapsulates the supple life. In the video, we got to virtually meet Peter from Merriam-Webster Dictionary, who is not only an editor of the English and French dictionary, but also happened to be a cyclist. So he was super familiar with the word painter and could give us the definitive pronunciation and history of the word. Another set of videos I was really proud about was the series of videos in which we documented Laura's process of getting a custom bike. I think it was pretty cool and unique because often there is a black box around the whole custom bike process, and it was cool to unpeel the layers, see how that process was all about, how to interact with a frame builder, that back and forth, and finally the finished product. So I know you're wondering, where is Laura's review of the Breadwinner G-Road? That is coming in 2020 when we get to California into warmer climes and have more time to film that review. A couple of my favorite moments from the year was actually the opportunity to go to events and do event coverage. In 2019, it was the first year we made it to Sea Otter. We got to meet lots of viewers of the channel, but we also made some really interesting content around the event. Yes, it is mostly mountain biking, but we were able to tease out the interesting gravel parts from the show. We also returned to the Chris King Open House, got to talk with some of the best frame builders in the world and nerd out on bikes at that show. And we also got to cover and present at the Philly Bike Expo, which I think is one of the best bike shows in the United States at the moment. As a consumer, lots of cool brands, lots of cool people go there, really interesting set of seminars. So if you get a chance to go, you guys should go. I think we're definitely planning to go again next year already. Another set of videos which I personally enjoyed making was the videos around the Ochiko Overlander. We went to it last year and froze our asses off. This year was just a banner year in terms of weather and terrain, and it was super fun to ride the event, but also create this video that really showcases some of the best riding in the state of Oregon, in my opinion. So not only did we film the event, but I also did a series of videos about my quote-unquote training and called it How Not to Go Bikepacking, because I essentially signed up for the Overlander, which is a fairly big ride. And I was doing it with completely new camping gear. I was doing it with a bike that I was gonna get like a week before the event. So all the things you're not supposed to do when you go bikepacking. But as you guys saw in the video series, everything ended up going okay in the end. And of course, I can't round out this video without talking about the Cabe of Bad Ideas video series. That's a video series that came out of necessity. Now that it's winter here in Montana, I can't do a whole lot of gravel riding because everything is under snow and ice. So I just had to be creative and work with what I had. So I cleared out our gear room, tried to make some space. And it's been a fun opportunity to kind of explore goofy ideas I have, especially around getting lower gearing on the modern gravel bike. And you guys seem to enjoy it. Another thing I was particularly proud of, it wasn't necessarily a video, but kind of a concept, and that is our bicycle flavor wheel. Like many of you, I've been really unhappy with how most bike reviewers review bikes. You know, they give these adjectives, but don't really tie it to geometry frame numbers. So the bicycle flavor wheel is our attempt to do that. It's been a fun process for me to kind of learn about frame geometry and associate it with different riding characteristics. And it's also been rewarding to kind of share that knowledge with you guys through the bike reviews, through the bike whisperer nerd out sessions. So super proud of that. You know, we're all about demystifying bikes here, making it more accessible. And I think having a tool like the bike flavor wheel is a step towards that. Another thing we've been really stoked about this year, and we want to continue into next year, is actually not on the YouTube channel, but interacting with folks in real life. So we've done a couple of pop-up watercolor shows this year, and we're going to continue that into next year. We found that it's a great opportunity to not only meet viewers, but to have people meet other cyclists within the region that are also into the same type of supple cycling. So we've got 2 events lined up already in 2020. One is coming up in January at Lucky Duck Cycles in Oakland, and the other is in Los Angeles at Golden Saddle Cyclery. So stay tuned for more events, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see you guys out there. And in the spirit of giving, there are lots of worthy bike-related things to give to if you're looking for an end-of-year donation. I just want to let you know of 2 which we are personally giving to at the end of this year. The first one is Bikepacking Routes, started by our friend Kurt Refsnyder, who we interviewed in PLP Talks. And what we love about them is, yes, they are doing route development and posting up those resources online, but they're doing it in a really thoughtful way. They're working with landowners, or in some cases, tribal chiefs that their routes go through. And we think this is really important work, to not just post up rides so you can get rad, but also to give back, educate people about the areas that they're riding through. So for all that work, we're going to donate to them this year, and we encourage you guys to do the same if you're into their work as well. And lastly, we're planning to give to our friends at Spoken Hostel in Mitchell, Oregon. So Spoken Hostel is a small church/bike hostel which caters to Trans-Am cyclists, people doing the Ochiko Overlander or Sarah Swallow's backcountry explorer route in Oregon, and they simply go above and beyond in terms of catering to traveling cyclists. But because they're in an old church in a small town, they've just got lots of small daily needs. It could be anything from upgrading their septic tank to adding another shower for bike tourists. Pat and Jalea there do amazing work, and we personally want to see them stay open because we love that they exist, that they're there to provide this amazing level of service to bike tourists traveling through every single year. So if you feel the same and want to help support them, I'm going to put the links in the description below. 2019 was a big year, but we've got lots of plans for 2020, a lot more travel, hopefully in the coming months as we go to California and Arizona. So stay tuned for all that goodness, and until next time, keep the supple side down.